Hello everybody and welcome back. We're back with another video, another track guide, and this time we're doing GR4 at Spa because this is disgusting. So we're going to go over here. We're using racing hard tyres. It's only a little 3-lap race, so basically it's just a sprint. You can only change your brake balance, which is sweet, so we don't have to fiddle around with any setups. And when we go and have a little wander as to what everybody's using, it appears that the McLaren is the car of choice. And there am I. There I am. Boom, look at that. I'm in Handy Pint's car because Handy Pint, he let me borrow it, and I have, so I did. And anyway, on to the important things. Boom, the lap. Here we are then, straight onto the lap, brake balance on 0, driving this beautiful McLaren designed by Captain Colossus Racing. If you love liveries, check him out on Instagram. We're on 5th gear, heading now to turn 1. I'm pausing it here because as soon as that 100 meter board flies off my screen, I'm braking all the way down to 1st for this hairpin here, and then immediately back up to 2nd. You can get on the power so early, earlier than you could ever imagine. If you think I'm getting on too early, do it anyway. It's worth practicing. That's where all the time is in this car, getting on the power early. And you have to short shift just around about that halfway point on the rev counter. I'm just going to pause it here as we head up through Eau Rouge. Bring your car all the way to the left hand side, and just as this curbing comes to an end that I'm currently sat on, that's your reference to start turning into Eau Rouge. You can do this flat. I do it flat here. It is on the limit to do it flat, so you really have to practice, but it is 100% worth it. You gain so much time if you do it flat, and if you use that reference of the turning point at the end of that curb, you should be golden lap after lap. As we come down here this straight, I'm just going to pause it here just before this curbing starts. This is your reference to brake into this little chicane we've got here. Go down the gearbox again pretty quickly. This car definitely gains from a lot of engine braking. Go all the way down to 2nd if you can for this one, but immediately back up to 3rd because this car really likes to turn when you get on the throttle. And if you can grab yourself on this curb and really see, I've opened up this next left. This is critical because the exit speed in this car is where it's at. So that'll leave you all the way up to the left hand side of this track to open up this final right hander of this section. And I'll just switch early here up into 4th gear. Grab the bit of curb if you can, it'll really pull you around the corner. That is perfect. And as you come down into this bend here, this curbing on your left hand side is your reference for some braking down into 2nd gear. You can take this one in 2nd or 3rd. I do a bit of both, but just going to pause it here because on the left hand side you see there is that little bit of grey section on the tarmac just outside of that white line. When your car reaches around that point, that is your key to start getting back on the power. As you come round here, really tricky corner this next left coming up. And on the left hand side, if you can see, there is an extra bit of fencing, and in front of it you've got some tyre barriers. And it's a green colour that is covering the fencing, and at the end you've got the orange strip. That is my reference for braking into this turn. So as soon as that flies off my screen, I'll start getting on the brake. Boom, on the brake, down into 3rd, immediately back up to 4th for a good exit. You've got to get on the power so early. That's another one where you really notice it's well worth having a slower entry just to get on the power so early. Here, difficult corner, that 50 meter board is your reference. As soon as that flies off your screen, bring it down from 6th all the way to 4th. Again, flick it up back into 5th, get on the power really early. I was a bit late here because I wasn't running quite over to the curb on the right hand side. It's just such a hard one to judge. Here, this lovely little shadow that somebody's drawn on the floor is your reference for this little chicane we've got. Bring her down into 2nd or 3rd, depending on how much turning you need. I switched to 3rd here, and then take the 2nd one in 4th to get all of that exit speed that you need. The curbing on this left hand side is your reference for this right hander. Drop it down into third, then get on the power nice and early, shift up to fourth, and just that little escape road that has just gone off our screen on the right hand side, that's your reference to turn in for this quick right hander. It's possible to do this one flat. I have a slight lift here because I just wanted to play it safe, but your aim is to aim for this little green pole. You want to get to the apex. That green pole is your apex. You don't want to be on the curb any earlier than that green pole. As we head down here, make sure you're still short shifting at 8,000 RPM or the middle of this red band. Got another turn that's normally flat, but not today. You're going to have a slight lift. Keep nice and steady through here. It's not worth throwing away the lap for the final chicane. The 150 board flies off your screen, and that is your reference to brake once again. Go down the gearbox pretty quickly because you'll really make a noticeable difference on the brakes. Go into first and then immediately back up to second and get on the power so early for that exit, and stay into third all the way to the exit for your lap. So as we just watch over the lap again here in Andy Pint's beautiful car, designed by Captain Colossus Racing. You got to check him out on YouTube and on Instagram. We're also on Instagram at Captain Colossus Media. All the different things on there, videos, cool pictures. If you want to have a look, Captain Colossus Racing, Captain Colossus Media, go check him out. That'd be awesome. But yeah, just want to recap on a few things as we head down towards Eau Rouge. The big one for this car, you've got to get on the power so early. Sometimes it will feel like you run wide, and maybe you will, but when you hook it up, you will gain so much lap time by getting on the power too early. It's where this car's strength is. I do not like this car for that reason, because you have to get on the power unnaturally early, but it's well worth getting used to because the lap time is really rewarding if you get it right. But yeah, just give it a bit of time. That's all I can say. Just give it a bit of time, and the lap time will come, and you'll see why this car is topping the charts in GR4 at the moment. Such a beast of a weapon. And as well as that power thing, just also make sure you are doing that short shift at around halfway on the rev counter, which is 8,000 RPM. Those two things will allow you to master this car and master this track. It's a bit of a tricky one, to be fair, because it's a long old track. It's really easy to run wide, and if you do, it will be punishable by death, and that's not good. This corner in particular that we're just coming through here, that's why I have a slight lift. If you run it ever so wide onto that green, you will be sucked off more than you have ever been sucked off before, and it's not as pleasant as you may seem, as you may have thought. It's really easy to make a mistake. It truly is. That looked totally illegal, to be honest, but God bless the Gran Turismo gods, because they thought that was legal. As we come through this final chicane, it's been beautiful. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video and you could leave a like, that would be epic. But if not, thank you very much anyway, and I wish you all the best. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one.